He asked me if he could touch me, and I forgot how to breathe. Not in the way you're thinking, not some sleazy proposition whispered in a bar or texted at 2 a.m. No. Ethan Blackwood, the man who owned half the skyline visible from his penthouse window, the boy who used to share his lunch with me in 3rd grade, stood 3 feet away from me with his hands trembling at his sides and his voice barely above a whisper. His eyes, those storm gray eyes I'd memorized 1,000 times, held something I'd never seen before. Terror. Raw, unfiltered terror. And beneath it something darker. Hunger. The kind that makes your skin prickle and your pulse forget its rhythm. I wanted to run. I wanted to stay. I wanted to ask him what the hell he meant, but my throat had closed around the words, trapping them somewhere between my heart and my mouth. I don't understand what you're asking, I manage. But we both know I'm lying. I'm standing in his living room. If you can call a space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city a living room and not a monument to isolation. Everything here is sharp edges and cold surfaces, marble, steel, glass. Beautiful and untouchable. Just like him. Just like he's always been since he inherited his father's empire at 23 and disappeared into this tower like some modern-day prince locked away from the world. I came here tonight because he called me. After 6 months of silence, 6 months of wondering if our friendship had finally collapsed under the weight of all the things we'd never said. His message was simple, please come. I need to tell you something now I'm here and he won't look at me. He's staring at his hands like they're foreign objects, his jaw working as though he's chewing on words too big to swallow. Ethan. I take a step toward him. Talk to me, he flinches. Actually flinches. As if my proximity burns, He stops, starts again. Mara, I need you to understand something about me. Something I've never told anyone. The room feels smaller suddenly. The city lights outside blur into meaningless stars. Okay, I say, softer now. He finally looks at me, and I see it then. The truth living in the hollows beneath his eyes, in the tight line of his mouth, in the way his shoulders curve inward like he's trying to make himself smaller. This isn't just vulnerability. This is excavation. He's about to show me something buried so deep that bringing it to the surface might destroy him. I've built an empire, he says, voice rough. I've negotiated billion-dollar deals. I've stood in boardrooms with men twice my age who wanted to devour me alive, and I won. Every single time, his throat works. But I've never touched a woman. Not the way other men do. Not intimately. The confession hangs between us like smoke. I don't understand, I whisper, though I'm starting to. I'm 28 years old, he continues, each word seeming to cost him something vital. And I don't know what it feels like to hold someone. To be close to someone without this barrier I can't name. I've tried. God, Mara, I've tried. But every time I get close to someone, my body just stops. Like there's a wall I can't climb over. He takes a shaking breath. Except with you. The words land like a match on gasoline. With you, he says, taking one careful step toward me. The wall isn't there. It never has been. And I need to know. His voice breaks. I need to know if it's real. If this feeling is real, or if I've just convinced myself that you're the only person in the world who could what? My heart is a wild thing now, battering against my ribs. He's close enough now that I can smell him. Sandalwood and something darker. Something that makes me think of midnight and confessions and the moment before you jump. Could let me touch you, he breathes. Could teach me what I've been missing. I should leave, that's what a sensible woman would do. A woman who values her sanity, her friendship, her heart, she would smile politely, make an excuse, and walk out that door before this moment crystallizes into something that can't be undone. But I've never been sensible where Ethan Blackwood is concerned. You want me to teach you? I hear myself say, and my voice sounds strange, distant, like it belongs to someone braver than I am. I know what I'm asking. He hasn't moved closer, but I can feel the heat of him anyway, radiating across the space between us. I know it's insane. I know you probably think I'm broken, or I don't think you're broken. His eyes snap to mine, searching. Then what do you think? I think I've been in love with you since we were 17, and you helped me study for calculus in your father's library. I think every man I've ever dated has been a shadow of you. I think if you touch me, I'll shatter into 1,000 pieces, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to put myself back together. I think, I say carefully, you're the bravest person I know for asking. Something in his expression cracks. Relief, maybe. Or gratitude. Or something deeper that I don't have a name for yet. Will you? The question is barely audible. Will you let me? I should ask him what exactly he means. Where the boundaries are. What he expects. But my body is already answering, a half step forward that closes the gap between us to something dangerous. Yes, I whisper. The word seems to stun him. He stares at me like I've just handed him something precious and terrifying, something he's not sure he deserves to hold. I don't know how to start, he admits, and the vulnerability in his voice does something catastrophic to my chest. That's okay. I lift my hand slowly, telegraphing every movement. We'll figure it out together. I place my palm against his chest, right over his heart. The contact is electric. He gasps, actually gasps, and I feel his heart hammering beneath my fingertips like it's trying to break free. Is this okay? I ask. He can't seem to speak. He just nods, his eyes locked on where my hand rests against him. You're warm, he finally says, wonder threading through his voice. I didn't expect... He stops, laughs shakily. I sound insane. You sound human. I let my hand move slightly, feeling the solid warmth of him through his shirt. What does it feel like? Like, he swallows hard. Like electricity. Like I've been numb my whole life and suddenly I can feel everything all at once. His hand comes up slowly, hovering near my waist, not touching. Just existing in the space beside me, trembling with want and uncertainty. Can I? He asks. Yes. His hand settles on my waist, feather-light, as though I might disappear if he presses too hard. The warmth of his palm seeps through the thin fabric of my dress, branding me, claiming me. Mara. My name on his lips is a prayer and a confession. I've thought about this for so long. Too long. Every time you smiled at me, every time you touched my arm or laughed at something I said, I'd go home and lie awake wondering what it would feel like if you meant it the way I wanted you to mean it. How did you want me to mean it? I'm barely breathing now. Like you wanted me to. His other hand comes up to cup my face, his thumb brushing my cheekbone with devastating gentleness. Like I wasn't just your friend. Like I was... You were never just my friend. The truth spills out before I can stop it. You've never been just anything to me. His thumb pauses. What are you saying? I'm saying... But I don't finish, because his phone rings, shattering the moment like a stone through glass. He doesn't move to answer it, but the spell is broken anyway. Reality crashes back in. His penthouse, my racing heart, the impossibility of what we're doing. Don't, he says when I start to pull away. Please don't run from this. From me. I'm not running. But I am stepping back, putting necessary distance between us. Ethan, we need to think about this. Really think about it. I have thought about it. For years, so have I admit. But this, what you're asking, it changes everything. Maybe I want everything to change. His voice is rough, desperate. Maybe I'm tired of being afraid. His phone rings again. This time he pulls it out, glances at the screen, and his jaw tightens. I have to take this, he says, frustration bleeding through every word. It's Tokyo, the merger. He stops, runs a hand through his hair. Don't leave, please, give me 5 minutes. He disappears into his study, and I'm left standing in his living room with my heart in my throat and his touch still burning on my skin. I should leave. But I stay. When he comes back, something in him has shifted. The call has stripped away his uncertainty, leaving behind the version of Ethan the world knows, sharp, focused, dangerously confident. But his eyes still hold that raw hunger from before. If anything, it's intensified. The Tokyo merger is falling apart, he says, loosening his tie as he walks toward me. I should get on a plane right now. Fly out tonight and spend the next 72 hours in conference rooms fighting to save a deal that might already be dead. But, I can hear it in his voice, the but that changes everything. But I don't care. He stops in front of me, so close I have to tilt my head back to meet his eyes. I've spent my entire adult life building an empire I didn't ask for, becoming someone I'm not sure I even recognize anymore. And for what? So I can die alone in a penthouse surrounded by things that mean nothing. His hand comes up to cup my jaw, and this time there's no hesitation. Just certainty. I don't want to waste another second being afraid of this, of you, of what I feel when I'm near you. Ethan, you ask me what I want, he says, his thumb tracing my lower lip. I want to know what you taste like. I want to know what sound you make when I kiss you. I want, God, Mara, I want so many things I don't have words for. My breath catches. Then stop talking and show me. Something ignites in his expression. He leans down slowly, giving me every opportunity to pull away, to stop this before we cross a line we can't uncross. But I don't stop him. I rise onto my toes and close the final distance between us. When his lips touch mine, the world narrows to this: the soft pressure of his mouth, the way his hand tightens on my waist, the small sound of surprise he makes, as if he didn't expect it to feel like this. Like coming home, like waking up. The kiss is gentle at first, exploratory. He's learning me, tasting me, memorizing the shape of my mouth against his. But then something shifts. His hand slides into my hair and he deepens the kiss with a groan that vibrates through both of us. I've been kissed before. But never like this, never with this kind of desperate reverence, as though I'm both salvation and damnation wrapped in skin and breath. Mara, he breathes against my lips. Am I? You're perfect. I pull him back to me, and this time when we kiss, there's no hesitation. Just heat and need and years of wanting finally given permission to exist. He walks me backward until my spine meets the cool glass of the window. The city sprawls below us, millions of lights twinkling in the darkness, but I barely notice. All I can feel is him, his body pressing against mine, his hands mapping the curve of my waist, the column of my throat, the line of my jaw. I want to touch you everywhere, he murmurs against my neck, his voice wrecked. I want to learn every inch of you. His phone buzzes in his pocket. Once, twice, 3 times in rapid succession. Ignore it, I say, but he's already pulling back, his expression clouding. It's my assistant. He checks the screen and I watch his jaw tighten. The Tokyo office is threatening to walk if I don't get on a call in the next 15 minutes. So get on the call. I don't want to. He presses his forehead to mine, eyes closed. I don't want to think about Tokyo or mergers or any of it. I just want this you. I'll still be here when you're done, I promise, will you? He opens his eyes and the vulnerability there breaks something in me. Or will you come to your senses and realize you deserve better than a man who doesn't even know how to touch you properly? I grab his face in both hands, forcing him to look at me. Listen to me very carefully, Ethan Blackwood. I have never wanted anyone the way I want you. Not the polished billionaire. Not the business genius you. The boy who saved worms from puddles on the playground. The man who called me at 3 a.m. when his father died because I was the only person he trusted to see him break. That's who I want. Mara, now take your call, I say. And when you're done, we'll figure out what comes next. Together. He kisses me once more, hard and claiming and full of promise. Then he disappears into his study, and I'm left touching my lips, trying to catch my breath, trying to remember who I was before he asked if he could touch me. Through the door, I hear him shift into business mode, his voice cold and commanding. Nothing like the vulnerable man who kissed me senseless 60 seconds ago. It's a reminder of who he is in the world beyond this penthouse, beyond me. And I wonder, with a twist in my gut, when morning comes, which version of Ethan will I wake up to? The call takes 40 minutes. I spend them standing at his window, watching the city breathe below, trying to organize my thoughts into something coherent. But every time I close my eyes, I feel his mouth on mine, taste him, feel the barely controlled hunger in the way his hands gripped my waist. When the study door finally opens, he looks exhausted, drained. The man who kissed me is buried somewhere beneath the weight of expectations and empires. I have to go to Tokyo, he says, and the words land like stones. Tomorrow morning. First flight out. Okay. I keep my voice steady even though something in my chest is cracking. I don't want to. He crosses to me, and this time there's no hesitation. He pulls me against him, burying his face in my hair. God, Mara, I just found you. I just let myself feel this. And now I have to get on a plane and pretend none of it matters. It matters, I say against his chest. This matters. Then come with me, I pull back to look at him. What? Come with me to Tokyo. His hands frame my face, thumbs stroking my cheekbones. I know it's insane. I know I'm asking too much, but I can't go back to pretending, not now. Not after I know what it feels like to touch you. Ethan, I have work. I'll make it worth it. I'll show you the city. We'll have 7 days. 7 days where you're not my childhood friend and I'm not the scared boy asking permission. 7 days where we can just be. Be what? Whatever we want to be. His voice drops to something raw and pleading. Please, Mara, don't make me go alone. Don't make me spend a week wondering if this was real or if I imagined it. I should say no. A sensible woman would say no. But when have I ever been sensible where he's concerned? 7 days, I hear myself say. The relief that washes over his face is devastating. He kisses me again, and this time there's nothing gentle about it. It's claiming. Possessive. A kiss that says mine in every possible language. I need you to understand something, he says when we break apart, both of us breathing hard. I've never done this before. Any of this. I don't know the rules or how to. He stops, frustrated. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to be awkward and probably say the wrong thing and, Ethan. I press my fingers to his lips. Stop thinking. Just feel. Feeling is what scares me. But even as he says it, his hands are moving, sliding down my sides, learning the curve of my hips, the dip of my waist. When I'm near you, I feel too much. Like I might explode from it. Then explode. I grab his shirt, pulling him closer. Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to be perfect. Just let go. Something in him snaps. He lifts me effortlessly, and my legs wrap around his waist on instinct. He carries me away from the window through his penthouse, until we're in his bedroom. Another space of sharp edges and cold beauty that suddenly feels electric with possibility. He sets me down on the edge of his bed, and for a moment we just stare at each other. Both of us breathing hard. Both of us terrified and exhilarated and teetering on the edge of something irreversible. Tell me what you want, he says, kneeling in front of me. The sight of him, this powerful man on his knees, does something catastrophic to my heart. I want you to stop being afraid, I say, threading my fingers through his hair. I want you to trust that I'm here because I want to be. Because I've always wanted to be. I've dreamed about you. The confession is barely audible. For years. But in my dreams, I knew what to do. I knew how to touch you, how to make you. He stops, color rising in his cheeks. How to make me what? Feel good. He won't meet my eyes now. How to make you want me the way I want you. I cup his face, forcing him to look at me. I already want you. You don't have to perform or impress me. Just touch me, learn me. We'll figure it out together. His hands slide up my thighs, tentative and reverent, and everywhere he touches burns. I guide him, show him what I like, and watch wonder bloom across his face as he realizes he's affecting me. That my racing pulse and shallow breaths are because of him. You're trembling, he whispers, his thumb brushing the sensitive skin of my inner thigh. So are you. He laughs shakily. I feel like I'm going to come apart. Then come apart. I pull him up, bring his mouth back to mine. Come apart with me, and he does. We do. Together in his cold, beautiful penthouse, we burn through every wall and fear and year of wanting until there's nothing left but skin and breath, and the truth we've been running from for far too long. Afterward, he holds me like I might disappear. His face is buried in my neck, and I can feel the dampness of tears on my skin. I love you, he whispers. I've loved you for so long I don't remember what it feels like not to love you. My heart breaks and heals in the same breath. I love you too. But even as I say it, I feel the weight of morning approaching, of Tokyo, of real life crashing back in. And I wonder, will 7 days be enough? Or will they just be the beginning of something neither of us knows how to finish? Tokyo is rain and neon and the sound of Ethan's laugh in a tiny ramen shop where no one knows his name. We've been here for 6 days and I've watched him transform. The man who asked permission to touch me has learned how to take, how to tease, how to make me gasp his name in the darkness of our hotel room while the city glows beyond the windows. But I've also watched him in conference rooms, seen the mask slide back into place, cold, calculating, untouchable. And each time I wonder which version is real, or if maybe they both are and loving him means loving all of it. You're thinking too loud, he murmurs against my neck. We're in bed on our last morning, dawn bleeding through the curtains, and neither of us wants to acknowledge what comes next. I'm thinking about going home, I admit. He goes still, and I don't know what happens when we get back, when you're Ethan Blackwood, billionaire CEO, and I'm just me. He pulls back to look at me, and there's steel in his expression now. You were never just anything to me. Before this week, after this week. You're everything, Mara. Don't you understand that yet? I understand you say that now. But when we're back in the real world, when the novelty wears off, novelty? He sits up and I see the flash of anger. Good. I'd rather have his anger than his pity. You think this is novelty? You think I'd risk everything, my reputation, my company, my sanity, for something fleeting? I think you've built walls for so long that the first person who got through them feels like a miracle. But miracles fade, Ethan, and when they do, I asked you if I could touch you. His voice is low and dangerous now. Do you remember what I said? I said with you the wall isn't there. Not with anyone. With you. You specifically. You think I don't know the difference between loneliness and love? I've been lonely my entire life. What I feel when I'm with you, this is the opposite of lonely. Then why do I feel like I'm waiting for you to realize you made a mistake? The words tear out of me before I can stop them. Why do I feel like I'm holding my breath, waiting for the moment you look at me and see just another complication you don't have time for? He stares at me for a long moment. Then he gets out of bed and starts getting dressed. What are you doing? I ask, getting ready. His voice is calm, but I can see the tension in his shoulders. We have a flight in 3 hours. Ethan, I can't force you to believe me, he says, buttoning his shirt with sharp, precise movements. I can tell you I love you 1,000 times, and it won't matter if you've already decided this won't work. If you've already written the ending where I disappoint you. That's not fair, isn't it? He finally looks at me and the pain in his eyes guts me. I open myself to you. I showed you parts of myself I've never shown anyone, and you're standing here telling me it's not enough, that I'm not enough. I never said that. You didn't have to. He grabs his jacket. I'm going to the lobby. When you've decided whether you're coming home with me or not, let me know. He walks out, and the door closing behind him sounds like an ending. I sit in the empty room, surrounded by the evidence of our week together, rumpled sheets, his cologne on my skin, the memory of his hands learning my body in the dark, and I realize he's right. I have been writing the ending. I've been so terrified of losing him that I've been pushing him away first. I throw on clothes and run. He's not in the lobby. He's on the street outside, rain starting to fall, his face tilted toward the sky. He looks devastatingly alone. Like the boy I met 20 years ago who never quite learned how to let people in. Ethan, I call. He turns, and the hope in his eyes breaks me. I'm terrified, I say, rain soaking through my clothes. I'm terrified because I love you so much it feels like dying. And I don't know how to be this vulnerable with someone. I don't know how to trust that you won't wake up one day and realize I'm not worth the risk. He crosses to me in 3 strides, cupping my face in his hands. You're worth every risk. Every complication, every moment of fear. Don't you get it yet? You're not the risk, Mara. Losing you is the risk. Then don't lose me, I whisper. Don't let me go. Never. He kisses me, rain-soaked and desperate. I asked if I could touch you, remember? And you said yes. That yes, it changed everything. It saved me. So I'm asking again. Can I touch you? Can I hold you? Can I love you? Not just for 7 days, but for every day after this. Yes. I'm crying now, or maybe it's just the rain. Yes to all of it. Yes, forever. He lifts me off the ground, spinning me in the rain, and we're both laughing and crying and probably making a scene. But I don't care. Let Tokyo see. Let the world see. Let them see what it looks like when 2 people finally stop running from the truth. That night, on the plane back home, he holds my hand and whispers promises into my hair. About the future we'll build, the life we'll create together. The walls we'll keep tearing down brick by brick, until there's nothing left but the 2 of us, raw and real and whole. Thank you, he says as I'm drifting off to sleep against his shoulder. For what? For saying yes. His lips brush my temple. For teaching me what it means to be touched, to be known, to be loved. I squeeze his hand, feeling the steady thrum of his pulse beneath my fingers. The pleasure was all mine. He laughs softly. Liar. I distinctly remember the pleasure being mutual. And as the plane carries us home, I realize something. He asked if he could touch me. But in letting him, I touched something in him too. Something locked away and untouchable for so long that even he'd forgotten it was there. His heart. And now it's mine to keep.